Okay, so let's start talking about your day scale model. You're going to need a printout of the meter stick. We handed out 3 in class. One is going to be for your day model, one's going to be for your life model, and one's going to be for your geological timescale model, which is going to be a project grade. So to construct the meter stick, you're going to need scissors, glue, tape, you're going to need a calculator later on, and a writing utensil. So on it you will be writing on the front of it, so you don't want to glue or tape on the front because that'll mess up being able to write on there. So try to make sure to have everything on the back of your meter stick. You're going to get a handout that's going to have these 4 strips on it, and you're going to need to cut them out. And so you're going to cut on this line here, because here's where you're going to write things like wake up. Sorry, you can't read it. And so don't cut off this part. That needs to stay. It needs to be one whole thing. So you should have 4 of these. Each color represents where you should cut. Okay, on the end of each meter stick, you should notice this little space in between the tick mark and the end of the paper. You're going to need to cut those off so it looks like this. So it could be on either end. You need to do that first before you start gluing. So you need to check each of the 4 of the strips and make sure you cut off this little space between the end of the paper and that last tick mark. So if you look at your strips, you'll notice at the end of the 21 goes 25, 25 and a half, 26. Well, so does the first part of the 31. So there's some overlap in numbers there. That's because it allows you space to glue and overlap so you can have a seamless meter stick. So you're going to find the 25 here and line it up with the 25 on the next piece of the strip. So you're going to put your glue in this area, the part that made your overlaps. And then you're going to pull them together, and you can see how this gives you a streamless piece of meter stick. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to squeeze your whole day and represent it into 100 centimeters. So we need to know how many centimeters equals 1 hour. It's just like looking at a map and wanting to look at how far is it and how many hours is it going to take me to get there, or how many kilometers per inch or centimeter. It's the same thing. You're making a scale. That's what that's called on the bottom of a map, like anyone reads them anymore, but that's a scale. We're going to use 25 instead of 24 because it just makes our math easier. So if you remember, Mr. Anderson talked about proportion, and so for our proportion on our time scale for the day, we're going to use our 100 centimeters, and instead of using 24 hours, we're going to use 25, so that gives us 1 centimeter equals 4 hours. That's easier than if we divided 100 by 24, and I think it gives us like 4.2 or 4.12. So instead of doing the decimals, we're going to divide by 5, and that's going to give us 4 centimeters equals 1 hour. So then the next thing you need to do is you need to look when you wake up and start there to the nearest hour. So I wake up at 5 o'clock to come to school. It's crazy, I know. I push the snooze button until about 5:30. Then I get up and start getting ready. And so you'll notice that every 4 hours I put in the hour. So you're going to do that all the way down your meter stick until, of course, you get to the end of your day. So using our proportions, we can also cut that hour and a half. Not everything takes an hour to accomplish. So, you eat breakfast, you leave for school. I get to school at 6:30, believe it or not, to start working on your stuff because you're worth it. We can also cut that in half. 2 centimeters are going to equal 30 minutes, and then 1 centimeter is equal to 15 minutes. So on your time scale, to represent a area that's 30 minutes, it'd be only 2 centimeters. Now, can it overlap? Can it go from 0.5 to 0.5 to the other ones? Yes. Not everything has to happen on the hour. Here's an example. 1 centimeter equals 15 minutes. So here's one I did a couple of years ago. You'll notice that I had 5, then 6. Count 4 more centimeters at 7. 4 more centimeters at 7. 8 o'clock. And so I put in some clip art to be fun. This is one thing that you can probably get some nice bonus points or some nice, hey, you did an awesome job kind of thing. So that wouldn't be that hard. This shouldn't take you all class period. And then if you get done, you can either keep it in your notebook and bring stuff to work on, or take it home and boof it up. So that's it, and we'll be turning this in.